Gold just had its worst single day drop in years while Bitcoin barely moved. Do you think that investors are starting to see that Bitcoin might actually be the safer long-term asset? What do you think?
I strongly believe that. And I also believe gold is on the top right now, the peak region, because I see on Twitter and X every day that this long line outside of gold bullion bar in Australia, Sydney, and Vietnam, Ho Chi Minh, India, Japan, and even in Korea. In Korea, there's something called Kimchi premium. That's when we usually call Bitcoin price in Korea is a lot more expensive than in Binance or in Coinbase. Currently, Bitcoin price is 7% more expensive than in Coinbase. And the same thing happens to the gold price as well. And when that happens, I think gold price is over 10% more expensive than London Exchange or Shanghai Exchange, etc.
Wow.
When that happens, I think any asset is on the top peak region because Koreans are just way too volatile and they are rushing into this trending asset whenever it's on the uptrend. So I think I already thought that gold is going to about to decline very harshly from the top price, which was like 4,300 dollars per ounce. And I think that happened.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think this is a short, just reversal. It's just, I think it's more like a long-term trend from now on. Gold will probably stay here at this range for the next a few months. And Bitcoin is the next runner of the race. They will shoot up from this price region.
Yeah, it's certainly looking like we got a lot of favorable tailwinds with Bitcoin entering Q4, and gold's been looking a little overheated right now. We've seen some pretty crazy gains this year, and for months, gold has been beating both Bitcoin and stocks, mainly because of fears about inflation and all of the global tensions we've been experiencing as of late. So my question to you, Brian, is why do you think investors are suddenly losing faith in gold now after seeing such a run for the past couple of months?
So I see there are two types of buyers of gold. The first is central banks. They have been accumulating gold since the 2020 because the Russia and Ukraine got broke out. The central banks knew the US dollar and the US Treasury were not their best options anymore. So they were actively accumulating gold, but they are not really purchasing gold to trade at some point. They're just
Mm-hmm.
buying gold to stack, right? The second category of the buyer of the gold is institutions purchasing gold through ETFs and the retail investors that are speculating on the uptrend of the gold. And they are now seeing this is the pick. So they are ready to sell what they bought for the last 2 or 3 years to the new buyers who
Mm-hmm.
are lining up in front of the gold bullion bars. And I think that's why gold is on the peak level right now. Bitcoin is a young asset, right? It's only been 16
Right.
years and nobody's really taking care of nobody's really taking consideration about, having Bitcoin as the majority of their portfolio. And the QE is about to happen, I think. The Feds in the
Right.
US, they're stopping the QT in a few months, and stopping of the QT is automatically leading to the start of the QE. So everybody knows this.
Right.
That's why they're preparing for having enough Bitcoin before the next bull run comes. So that's why Bitcoin is getting more popular than gold.
Yeah, I think you're right. We're expecting two rate cuts here in Q4. And as we know, despite the fact that we call Bitcoin digital gold, it's still very much treated like a risk on asset, which would certainly be helped by these upcoming rate cuts we'll be experiencing here in Q4. But with that being said, we still have a lot of the gold bugs out there talking their game, more specifically Peter Schiff, maybe the gold bug. He said that this recent drop for gold was only a shakeout and called Bitcoin fool's gold. So my question to you, Brian, is why do you think people like Peter Schiff can accept that Bitcoin might in fact be replacing gold as the store of value?
Well, he's right at some point, and he's also wrong at the rest of the part. I think what he's right about is Bitcoin is not entirely store of value at this moment because it's only been here 16 years and everybody considers it as like Nasdaq 3 times leverage ETF or something like that, speculative
Mhm.
asset. I agree with that. Bitcoin hasn't acquired the degree of safe haven asset not yet. But it's going to go there, and what Peter Schiff is declining is Bitcoin will eventually flip gold and become the more popular safe haven asset in the very near future. I think Peter Schiff is just using this narrative that gold is always superior than Bitcoin to acquire more fame and get more X followers.
Mm,
So he has been
that's a
in
good
the
point.
Bitcoin conference last year, right? So he knows how
He
to get
was.
attention. He's just using it. I think he already knows Bitcoin will flip Bitcoin gold one day, but he just pretends it's not going to happen.